What's up, y'all? You know what time it is. It's about to be that time.
Yo. Hey, everybody. We are here with One Piece 1133. Oh, hope everybody's doing well. We're later than usual today, but Mars has been sick, so we've been dealing with that. So, hoping that he's a little bit better now. And then, but if I gotta jump out at any point to help Chrissy, I might have to. But I'm excited to get into this. Will we get any more information on Louis Arnault? Are we gonna get some silhouette answers? Let's see here. We'll find out. Shout out to everybody in chat. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Had to honor Kazuki Yao, who, if you didn't hear, is retiring from the role of Frankie, Django, and Bon Clay. Oh. They have not announced a replacement, but they did announce a replacement for Django, which is Wataru Kaki, who's the voice actor for Bellamy, Vanderdecken, Knuckle in Hunter x Hunter, Hunter, and he's done a ton of things. He was Joker in Batman Ninja, so he's going to be Django. He was also Zoro in the original OVA. Back, we're talking before the main cast was decided. It was a completely different company, and it could be interesting. They're going to announce at Jump Festa who the replacement's going to be, but there's no word if he's going to only do Django or if he's taking over all of it. So hey, we love Kazuki Yao over here. Frankie's my third favorite Straw Hat, so this hurts, but at least he's still with us, and all the best in his retirement. All right, yeah, let's get this page counter up. Set this number. There we go. Chapter 1133. Nice things. Miles, it's a full-on tribute. It's legitimately a Frankie shirt. Alright, so we've got the return of Holdem. Oh, thank you, Oda, man. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. Look, he's got a cape now. He's, he's back to his old tricks. Kidnapping Tama. Kidnapping little girls. This man needs to be stopped. Took out Speed. Yamato's sweating. I think we need to adjust our top 50s here, because if you've got Yamato in your top 30 top 50? And you don't have Holdem after this sweat bead on Yamato? Yamato is worried. Holdem must have been... He must have hit the gym. Maybe that cape's got some extra power. Alright. Holden attacks. Drop your valuables. Why did they translate his name as Holden instead of Holdem? I wonder if Steven put it right, but then whoever was doing like quality control for Viz was like, oh, this must be a mistake, this name. There shouldn't be an M here. Alright. So anyway, that was page 1. Moving on to page 2. Ooh, flashback time. Oh. Shout out to Eric Veltri, member for 28 months. He said, hi, Randy. Hope you and your family are well. Glad I'm able to finally catch a live stream. Appreciate that you're here, Eric. It's flashback time. I already see Spandine here, so this is going to be some Ohara business. We gonna get... Is this the ship that Sakazuki blew up? We gonna get some Saul context this week? Alright. We are 2 chapters from Saul's life alert button press. So let's see. You know what? If it's flashback time, I'm actually gonna hit the OST. Let's see. Alright. The scene at Ohara, it chilled me to my spine. That was an atrocity. Evacuation ship, packed with innocent lives, suddenly exploded and went down in flames. To my dying day, I'll never forget the sounds, the screams that emerged from the fire. Ooh, Spandine is wrestling with his actions here. So this is post-Ohara. Nico Robin did that? Oh no. He's just doubling down on the Nico Robin propaganda here. Not only that, but several other battleships were also sunk. She's a demon in the body of an 8-year-old girl. The government won't go into detail about the story. The truth is so shocking and brutal that it will traumatize children. If you see her, don't approach. Just tell the authorities. What? There's a criminal on the island. I met her. She had the eyes of a killer. Ooh. Yeah, we're going into... Alright. We're really doing this. I mean, it is end of the year Oda. It is end of the year Oda. She's got the brain of a veteran scholar, but no human emotions to go with it. Here she is petting a dog, feeding a dog. Scraps. Look at that bounty. Grab your guns. Let's hunt her down. Don't be fooled by appearances. Your mercy is wasted on her. She uses freakish sorcery. I like this panel. It's one of her, like, low angle looking up at the rain. That's a mood. Catch her as quickly as you can. I can't sleep at night knowing she's out there. I wish she'd just unalive already. Oh my god. Alright. Why can't the Navy hurry up and finish her off? She's a menace to She's a menace to the world. Huff huff, live Robin. Yeah, this is... Alright. Listen carefully, Robin. You're all alone right now, but someday, without a doubt, you will meet friends. Saul, I'm so scared. Everyone scares me. That's unbearable. Remember what I taught you. Just laugh like this. It's not there. Hey, what do you think you're... Did she find a map of the West Blue and take a pen to it and put Ohara in it? Because that looks like it's hand-drawn there. I hear she travels from town to town, killing and robbing people. Well, I mean, her specialty is assassination, right? People have to be correct here. She lowers their defenses with her childish looks, then slits their throats in the night. Ooh. Oh, 8-year-old Robin's a menace! This is insane. Stupid brat deserves to be in a ditch somewhere. This is... wild. Page 5. Present day, Elbaf, New World, huh? A port on top of a tree. Are we on the sea or clouds? And then we've got, you know, just that real harsh transition. Because you know that Dory is basically saying ready to dock with his laugh. Alright. So they land in off the Painter. This is the port of the western village. It's sea clouds. Welcome back, captains. It took so long we got worried. It simply beggars the mind. Everything is on a different scale. What a grand sight. Wow. And they're here too. Hey, you guys. Next page. Look at this. Isn't it wild? Bonnie's enjoying it. It's a Zvar. A mist ship that uses the buoyancy of island clouds to sail. Okay, now that's... we getting into some neat lore here. I feel like we're back in Skypiea times. You know, I mean, I've been feeling like that, but I mean, like, just the painters, dials, you know, we've got the sea clouds, the island clouds. We have, you know, interesting technology that is basically unique to this particular place. Yeah. We were always meant to come to this island. Oda may have made up a bunch of the other places as he went along, but this was set in stone from the beginning. It's all amazing. How is this place so amazing? The climate on Elbaf is simply perfect. Island clouds, sea clouds, bubbles, rainbows, hovering. Oh, I didn't realize this was a double-page spread. I'm on Manga Plus. Hold on. Okay. Here we are. Alright, so we got Hyridin here, Straw Hat, Uso Land. It's been a while since we've heard that name. And friends, I'm glad to see you here in Elbaf. I knew you changed your hair, Robin. See, you've been getting into the Elbaf swing of things too. Oh wow, Luffy remembered his name. Good to see you, Hyridin. I've heard tell of all of your exploits. You're an Emperor of the Sea now. That's the fleet captain we all look up to. Wow, they crucified Road. I'll give you full introductions later, but for now, the four of us are the new giant pirates at your service. Nice to meet you. I said I don't need you to follow me. Who cares? We'll do it anyway. D-ga-ga-ga. I like how he said the four of us, and, you know, there's five. Mind you, there are five. They are renouncing this man. He is kicked out. He's out. Moving on to page 8. The news about how you beat Big Mom over in Wano made waves over here, and we never pay attention to the outside. Okay, so Luffy's getting credit for Big Mom. This is something that I definitely wanted to have happen during Elbaf. I wanted someone to, you know, in Elbaf to at least address the fact that everything in Wano happened. We've got Gerd here. Yes, I was friends with Lin Lin long ago, but she did something unforgivable to Elbaf. Hey, you can catch up with them after a toast. Hyridin first, let's eat and drink. We've got a whole mountain of food sized for us. Gababa, come to the pub. Alright, so it's not winter solstice. But that doesn't mean that it won't happen while they're there. Okay. Woo, food, I'm starving. Yeah, I've been so amped up that I'm running on empty. Hey, Luffy. Who's saying that? Robin? Next page. Southwest of the Western Village. I can go on my own. This is not gonna happen. I want to see this. Yeah, so do I. Jinbei, I'm just seeing the sights. Zoro, me too. Okay, we've got Gerd here saying Dr. Saul wanted to show you the library, Robin, so we're taking you to the school below it. Thank you for guiding us there, Gerd. It's my pleasure. It's a long trip. Okay. All right. So I got a little confused here because it's a double-page spread, so I thought it was all happening simultaneously. But there's a bit of a time jump here. They're saying they're going to go eat, and then after Robin says, hey, Luffy, we cut over to them back on the Saul, or whatever it's called, the mist ship. Robin's saying I can go on my own. Everybody is there. They've decided not to eat because they're acquiescing to Robin's plot for the arc. So, okay. So, then we got Luffy down here saying, listen, Robin, the thing about being captain is you have to pay your respects to everyone who's helped out your crew. Okay, I love that. Where did you learn that? It's the honorable thing to do, duh. Oh, that's a good point. We can wait on the toast. Bring Saul back with you. In the meantime, I'll prepare that special mousse for you. Take your time, folks. Okay, the promise of a toast. We've been here before. That's gonna get delayed. Next page. Warriors have to study hard too. Dr. Saul mostly teaches classes on history and various books. That's the Warrior's Spring, and right by it is the Owl Library. Okay. Spring looks like a beach. Okay, so this is a stand-in for Virgilmere here. Yes, it's a sandy beach caused by part of the tree becoming fossilized and eroded. Huh. It doesn't have tides, but the waterfalls come from the spring because the waves... But the waterfalls from the spring cause waves to lap on the shore. Yeah. So this is... Yeah, this is basically a stand-in for Virgilmere. All of the springs are coming from the top and falling down just like it does on Yggdrasil in Norse mythology. It's an ocean. Okay, let's go find him. Then we can take Saul back to the pub. Nami shoves Luffy into the ground. This is Robin's moment. Great shot of Robin. My heart is racing. Next page. Oh no, it's Dr. Saul. He's fallen and he can't get up. Are you kidding me? We just got here. We're coming for a reunion 22 years in the making, and this happens now? Chopper, I'm a doctor. I'll handle this. Where's the patient? Finally, Chopper remembering he's a doctor. This is your time to shine, Chopper. We're all counting on you. He's over there. He just fell over and... Oh, he's fine. He's just gonna be like asleep or something. But wow. Like, I mean, can we just take this? You just take this in here? That's actually Saul. And that's Robin looking at Saul. Oh, you fool. Don't say that. The poor guy's sick. This is actually happening here, guys. This is happening.
It's about to get spicy.
It'll be fine. Let me go on my own. You all stay here. Huh? But are you sure, Robin? Robin. I got all nervous for nothing. I love Robin's outfit. It's giving Dressrosa, which is maybe my favorite Robin outfit. Man's getting some much needed beach time. Now this is a panel right here. Him in the water, wide open beach, just Robin walking over, footprints in the sand. This man tries to scare her and she just stands there. I love how demure Robin's being. This bitch. If did it she. How's that I shot? It's like no time has passed at all. That's the sign of a good friendship. Very cutesy. What a shocker. This is happening. I'm just looking at this panel of Robin looking up at Saul, man. Robin. It is she. But you're not a kid anymore. Sorry, I wasn't sure how I should greet you. You still have that silly laugh. Wow. It is she. Yup. Still don't know how to laugh. Now let me get a good peek at you. Why, look how lovely you are now. You remind me of Olvia. You're just like her. Saul. Former Navy HQ Vice Admiral. Saved Robin's life. Whoa! He's missing a leg! He's joined the One Leg Club. Like my mother. My mother. We cannot give up on the future of the world. You will understand someday. You got our gentle eyes, Robin. Anyway, did you hear Vegapunk's message? I was there on the island, but I couldn't really make it out. I had to learn about it from the paper. Well, when he said, history is told by the winners, those words came from Ohara. If they were left to be buried in history, they would have vanished without being heard. The scholars of Ohara sent out their voices, and Vegapunk's a scientist. He doesn't speak on good and evil, but he gave his life to pass those voices on. It's a huge step forward made possible by Ohara's and Vegapunk's sacrifices. Sure, it means big change for the future. Your sacrifice too. Does it hurt? She's touching his scars. Shi. Bet you can't believe I made it, huh? Next thing I knew, I was drowning in the sea. I guess the flames of the island melted the ice and dropped me in. I didn't find out you were still alive until a bit later. And the things they were saying about you, it made me so mad. I don't want to talk about the bad things. Instead, Saul, I want to hear nice things about how I survived. Damn, that's the moment of the chapter right there. I mean, I'm not done, but that... Robin has lived her entire life, you know, up until she met the Straw Hats, with pretty much everybody that she ever met or anybody in the world wanting her dead. And this is the one person in the world still alive that can actually give her the opposite. Not that the Straw Hats couldn't do that for her, and obviously them wanting her to live and everything had an impact, but this is different. This person knew her as a kid. This is the only person that when everybody else was saying all of those things at the beginning of the chapter, he would have been saying the opposite. And those are the things that she needed to hear as a child. So she wants him now.
You loyal.
No kidding. A tiny child like you on the run from the entire world. Bless you for being alive, Robin. 22 whole years. Bless you for surviving. Bless you for coming to see me. You got Luffy, Zoro, and Jinbei watching this. I don't know if Jinbei needed to be there. I would have put a different Straw Hat. But... love that. She's getting that much needed hug in. Why do I have to live anyway? Mother, Professor Saul. Yeah. Look at all that. See, this is amazing, and this is exactly why I said when 1066 came out that Saul being alive is amazing, because I knew we were going to get something like this. You know? I got into different arguments with Morge twice about this. Like, he didn't want this. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if Morge changes his tune after reading this chapter. This is not a fake out death. This is plot. This is what needed to happen. Alright, next page. Probably the last page. Man, I missed you so much, Saul. I missed you too. Everybody's crying. To be continued. Luffy's just smiling. Drip, drip, drip. Look at all the certified drip. We made it. We're here.
Doot. Mr. Hoda, that's another banger.
Yeah. I'm just taking it in, guys. I mean, did we do the math? Did the internet do the math? How many years has it been? That would have had to have been December, January of 2005 or 6. 2005 or 2006. 19 years in real life. 19 years. End of 2005, yeah. Which also math piece, as we talked about. The all of the stuff with Ohara was end of the year Oda 2005. And another math piece fun fact is that I Want to Live happened on Robin's birthday. But man. Barry said, I'm not sitting here trying to be selective. Oda gave us what we needed for this to be narratively explainable before confirming it here. Yeah, you know, I mean, this is one of those things that actually, I think, works better because of 1066. There's a lot of things in the story where Oda will, you know, Oda could have very easily not mentioned Saul at all, got us to Elbaf, and then we just get to the beach, and there he is, right? And then it's just a shock and surprise from Robin. And then everybody's just like, whoa, Saul, oh my god. And then, you know, the reactionary people are like, this is the worst thing ever. But, Oda prepped us for this. and he prepped us for this because it's the narrative. It needs to be this. Someone needed to inherit the will of Ohara besides Robin. And I explained this in the recent reverie against Morge. I explained it in the theory for theory that I had with Morge, like pretty much after 1066 happened. That might be the last time Morge was on the channel. And when you start thinking about other flashbacks, right? Let's take Nami's for example. Okay, so Nami's flashback. The key central figure in it is Belmir, right? Belmir dies. But you also have Genzo and you have the Doctor. Chopper's the main person is Hiraluk, but you also have Kureha, right? Let's see. Let's think of another one here. Because I'm gonna loop all of this together, and I think everybody will understand what I'm getting at. What's another one? Frankie's. The main central figure is Tom, but you also have Kokoro and Iceberg. So, in Robin's, the main central figure, in my opinion, was actually Clover. I mean, you could actually argue any of the three, but I think it's Clover. He kind of took center stage. He was the Hiraluk, he was the Belmir, but also, like, you also have Olvia, right? And it's like, Olvia and Clover are really more tied than Saul. Saul, to me, like, even if I didn't know Saul was alive, I would have put Saul into the category of, like, he's the Genzo, he's the Kureha, he's the Kokoro or Iceberg. You know, like, he was never the Tom, he was never the Hiraluk, he was never the Belmir. He was somebody that Robin met 3 days before everything happened in Ohara. Who, you know, they were able to become quick friends and everything, but it's not her, you know, he's not her mom, and he's not her, like, father figure growing up, which was Clover, right? Clover is the person who wasn't her dad, but inspired her to become something, right? Yes, Olvia is also an archaeologist, but she didn't become an archaeologist because of Olvia. She became an archaeologist because of Clover. So Clover is her Shanks, is her, you know, her Hiraluk, is her, you know, the Corazon, etc. Like, this is the person that she's looking towards. And Saul is just her friend. So Saul being alive doesn't impact the flashback for me. Other people want to say, okay, this flashback, like, is completely ruined now. Everything that, you know, that we've thought of for 20 years is now flipped upside down, and we'll never be able to read Robin's backstory the same way again because Saul didn't die. Wow, I'm never going to be able to read Nami's flashback again because when Kurobi slashed up Genzo, he survived! Look at him all stitched up, that's ridiculous! Good lord. Genzo should be dead. Oh my god. Nah. This is amazing. This is what we need. Alright? Robin needs a Genzo. Robin needs a Kureha. Robin needs one person alive from her her past. Everybody else has it. Why can't she? Frankie still has Kokoro and Iceberg. Zoro still has his sensei. Sanji's got Zeph. Luffy's got Shanks. and Makino, the mayor, whoop slap. Jinbei's got a whole bunch of people. Like, it's just, Robin literally had nobody. Like, let her have somebody. Donnie said Genzo would have tanked Kaido's Ragnarok. Oh, man. Usopp's got Kaya, exactly. And technically Yasop, but, you know, whatever. It's just... Some people, you know, the other thing too is like, you know, Morge is my guy, but I saw someone in here say that Morge didn't like the chapter, and it's like I feel like his agenda prevented him from being able to actually appreciate this is objectively good, but, and I'm not like. I'm not being an Oda angel here when I'm talking about all of this either, because it's like there's plenty of stuff that I will say no, like I'm not into this, or there's, you know, other retcon deaths that I'm just like no, but this, like, you know, like you take someone like Pell, obviously the main, you know, the big major argument, like what has he done? Okay, he flew around the Reverie, like we really needed to keep him alive so he could fly around the Reverie and not find Vivi. That doesn't mean anything. He's not moving the needle on anything. He's not getting any focus time. Chaka can do it. We know this, okay? There are things that, now that Saul is back in the story, only he can do. Oh, I see Roger in the chat. What's up, man? I don't know if you're still here. I was just scrolling up and I just saw you in there. It was a really great chapter. Let's see. And Lucy B. Super had said, so what will happen next chapter? We'll get into that. We'll definitely get into that. And Red Hood 52, member for 23 months, said, shout out to Kazuki Yao, truly legendary voice. Ow! Let's see. Shout out to Bweezy. Bweezy Super and said, can anybody explain how does Saul being alive erase Robin's trauma of running away alone for years and contemplating jumping off a cliff? It doesn't. It doesn't. Because you also have to figure, you have to take this into account as well, right? Is she was off the grid. And so was Saul. Like, do the people that have this argument, are they saying, well, Saul should have gone and looked for Robin? She didn't need to be alone all those years. She could have been with Saul. Saul was off the grid too. Was he supposed to let everybody know he's alive? Go on this sort of mission where he could compromise everything else that's going on because he's trying to find Robin? I mean, like, sure, someone could say, okay, well, he should have done this, but, you know, we have the same argument for Dragon should have went and saved Ginny. You know, like, as I feel, and I've said this before, as we get deeper into the story, I feel like we're going to get scenarios where there's going to be things where the explanation for all of X should have done Y is going to be, they know something, there's a prophecy, it's too important, we cannot sacrifice the good of everyone for one person. As much as Saul would have wanted to find Robin, where's he going to start? How is he going to find her? The easiest way would have been, you know, in the past 2 years, once she was gaining notoriety, he could have gone and, like, probably found her in between Eni's lobby and the archipelago. That might have been it. He's not finding her when she's with Dragon. But even then, it's like we get this moment, right? And Saul didn't need to go and look for Robin. He needed to learn the history because now he's a teacher, right? So now Robin and Saul can put their heads together and uncover some mysteries. Like, we could get this whole, Aaron Sorkin walk and talk where we're in a library and, like, Saul is just spitting everything that he's read from these books. And just like, Robin, I don't know if you know this, but, this was in this book, blah, 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 blah. This is this. And Robin's like, yeah, well, I read this poneglyph and this. Oh, that's great because that ties into this thing that I read over here. And now that makes sense because you read that poneglyph. And then everybody else is just sitting there like, and Luffy's just like, I'm hungry, guys. What's going on? Something about the world's going to end? And that's going to be great. We're going to, like... Instead of the true history or anything like that being a monologue from Robin, now it's a dialogue between her and Saul, potentially. Which is going to make it more exciting. It's going to, it's going to build on top of it, of itself. And whenever we actually get that scene, it's going to be something else. I think we're going to have to, we're going to have to explore the library now. See, Barry said, for the stakes that people feel Wano was missing, for us to sit in Luffy's death for a little longer, to see the people that needed the Straw Hats to step up for any number of reasons, honestly. I think I'm coming into that a little late. But, I mean, talking about... But I get that, we're talking about stakes that, things that should have happened. Yeah, I know Saul was in hiding, Joe D. Very motivated member for 43 months said the GERD panel saying she was good friends with Big Mom had me the most intrigued. Well, I mean, we know that because she was the girl in the Mother Carmel flashback. So, and pretty much every panel that Lin had prior to Lamb's house moving to a different island or whatever, she was with GERD. GERD and Lin were hanging out. Like, they were good friends. But, I mean, the intriguing part about it is that Big Mom has been mentioned, which means that she's on the table. And more things about her on the table. I don't think she's dead. She's got more story to tell, and it's here. This is where where her story wraps up. Catching up on the chat here. Magda386 said, wait, is Randy wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Didn't he hate Sanji wearing one? Now let's get this straight. Okay. This is in honor of Frankie. Okay, Kazuki Yao retiring. 2, I don't hate Hawaiian shirts. I hate Hawaiian shirts with hoods on them. Okay? Hawaiian shirts can work. They can be drippy. Not always. You know, you gotta find the right one. But you don't put a hood on it, especially with a collar and a hood. Like that's just objectively not. You just don't mix those things, okay? But I love when Frankie wears Hawaiian shirts. Sanji in a Hawaiian shirt could work as long as it doesn't have a hood on the back. Like if you're gonna have a hood, make it a hoodie, make it a sweater. That's where the hood's supposed to go. Brandon King said, such a reward for those who decided to live peak chat. To live peak chap, or such a reward for those who decided to. Oh, okay, yeah. There's no space there. So, such a reward for those who decided to live peak chap. To live like Robin, yeah. See here, Brandon's right. Sanji's Skypiea outfit, that pink. That worked. I'm not a huge fan of the shorts, but the shirt, I like the shirt. Didn't have a hood on it. Jacob said, being too stiff with certain rules and perceptions of the story will create issues with any reader. Yeah, you gotta understand. You can get hyperbolic, and you can focus on the the now of it, but that's not how Oda operates. He's thinking very far ahead most of the time. So in this particular case, like, we actually get plot, story, and character out of Saul being alive. That's why I didn't care about Pound being alive. Because of the cover story. Because the cover story showed that Pound served a purpose. He actually met his children. Does it downplay his sacrifice a little bit? Sure, but you get the emotional catharsis of him actually meeting his daughter. So that's fine. That's fine. Okay, Pagaya? He could have died. Like, the joke was funny, especially to 2003 Randy. Probably one of my favorite gags in the entire story, when he just pops up in the anime. It's just like, oh, you guys talking about me? But 2024 Randy, it's like, just let the man go. But this is good. This is good. Thanks, Magda. Sarah said, I think maybe people who say it feels cheap, were they reading weekly when Robin's backstory came out, or did they catch up with One Piece later? I mean, that's a good point, too. Like, there's a lot of things in the story that work better if you were weekly versus binging, and there's other things that worked better binging than reading weekly. You know what I mean? And we could sit here and barter examples of all of that. But I was weekly for Robin's backstory. I remember it happening. It's a wild time. The thing is, too, is that, you know, there's going to be a lot of, as we get deeper and deeper into the final saga, and we're already seeing characters drop for good, there's going to be deaths that are going to stick. But in order to move the plot, we need characters that are a little more omniscient than others. We need people that are going to be able to lore drop. Making Saul one of those characters is cool to me. Nobody's going to change my mind on that. Now, if Clover came back to life, I think I would have a little bit more of an issue with that. But Saul, I don't. Because, to me, bringing Clover back is like bringing Hero back. It's like bringing Belmir back. Like, Saul wasn't the emotional driving force for me. Maybe, you know, that's the issue, is that it's the optics that Saul is the hero, that Saul is the Belmir of Robin's backstory, but that's just not the case. It never was the case. So Saul isn't the Tom. Saul is Genzo. It's okay for him to be alive. Chin said, I miss Lucy Beat Super Chat. The one about what's going to happen next? No, I read it. I just wanted to get through my thoughts before I started thinking about what is next. Let's see. Was there a different Lucy B one? Oh, hot take. Okay, then I did miss that one. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Lucy, appreciate the super. Thanks. I see it now. Mord said it's a good chapter, but he just didn't feel it. And to be honest, I was fully on board with this fake out with Saul, but this chapter didn't move me at all. I'm glad you all liked it, but to me, this is cheap. Yeah. Let's take a look at this again. I understand, like, with all of the fake outs in the story, it cheapens moments when, like, we should be getting them like this, and I get that. And, you know, did this moment bring me to tears? No, we were here. It didn't, like, it didn't move me in that way, but I did, like, I did have to take moments to kind of, like, appreciate and understand, like, what's happening here. And but also for me, very few times has the manga actually brought me to tears. The anime, all the time. Like, the combination of, like, the sounds and the voice acting and all of that, that's what moves me. Reading, not always. There's been a handful of instances, though. But when this gets animated, I think it'll be a different story. But I'm just glad that Robin has, like, some semblance of happiness. And not only that, like, Robin doesn't get enough focus to begin with. So, like, I have to look at this as a win for Robin. This is a chapter entirely devoted to somebody who isn't Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji. And I have to respect that and appreciate it. If we get a chapter that's entirely focused on Chopper, good on Oda for giving us that. An entire chapter focused on Frankie? Let's go. Usopp. Even Jinbei. Sure. But Robin is probably the least focused on Straw Hat, especially post-time skip. And I don't think that that's a hot take. Like, we're talking about a character that had 16 years in between fights. I could probably rattle off the moments post-time skip that Robin, like, was actually focused on. In Fishman Island, when she has the conversation with Neptune, then the next thing would probably be, like, stopping Cavendish, saving Rebecca, which was cool, but I think should have been, you know, maybe more of a fight there. Then the Whale Tree. Let's see. Fighting Black Maria. 1066. And then this. So from chapter 596 until from chapter 596 to 1133, that's only 7 or 8 chapters where the focus was Robin. Which is crazy. Like, where there was like a highlight moment. I mean, maybe chat, you know, like throw in some other things if you can remember it. I just feel like we needed this. And I want more. I would love, like, I've been saying, like, if Elbaf is a secret Robin arc, I'm okay with that. Like, everybody's like, Usopp, Usopp, Usopp. I'm like, no, it's going to be a Luffy arc. It's going to be a Robin arc. Yeah, there's got to be some Usopp in there too. But, you know, this may be a Zoro, you know, Wano is Zoro's arc situation. And it's like the focus is Robin instead of Usopp. And I'm okay with that because Robin has not been really focused on since Enies Lobby. Just like, you know, people could argue that Nami hasn't really been focused on since Arlong Park. Like, she's had her moments. She's had a lot of moments. She's never been the centerpiece of an arc since Arlong Park. Robin has never been the centerpiece of an arc. I guess you could argue so. But since Enies Lobby. And Frankie, yeah, Duran said, like, Frankie should have had Egghead. But he did get focus in Egghead. So, I mean, I kind of have to, you know, it's like, I went into Egghead saying, okay, this is science or whatever. This should be Frankie's arc. This should be Sanji's arc. Sanji got a lot of focus in the arc, and Frankie was usually right next to Sanji. So, I mean, it was there, but not entirely in the way that, you know, I would have liked it to be. Vern said, when's Robin going to bring up the X in the paper? That's a good question. I don't think that's on our mind right now. Donnie M stream said Robin outsmarting the Oniwabanchu. Yeah, that was actually a pretty fun. That was like that was like a chapter that was focused on her when she was moving through the castle. I really appreciated that. And fooling them. That was a good one. So we can add that. Let's see, Demi LP said Randy does not complain about Nami when it comes to lack of focus. I just did. and it's like arguably longer than Robin, but Nami still gets more moments than Robin does. So it's like there's still a lack of focus on all of the, female members of the crew, unfortunately. But I just can't look at this and not appreciate the fact that the focus is entirely Robin. Maxo, member for 43 months. Shout out to Oda for giving one of the most victimized people in the story such a beautiful reward. Yeah, she needed this. Lucy said, I literally just said I was on board with this. No, I know you're on board with it, but you also said it wasn't really moving you. So that's what I was really getting into. Not the fact that you're not on board with it, but that it's not like we're talking about the idea that everybody. I was getting a sense in the chat that it's like everybody needs to be really moved from this. So I was talking about how like I, wasn't moved in the way of like tears or anything, but I was moved in a way of understanding the the emotion behind everything. Brave Rye said, I think what would save this for me is Kuzan meeting Saul. That way I can understand him truly, that he truly believes Saul died, or we get confirmation that he intentionally tried to save him, like with Garp. Well, I mean, that brings up the, the very real possibility that we do get the Blackbeard Pirates and Kuzan at Elbaf. And I think that we should, because Blackbeard, according to the Viewer cards and the SBS or whatever, is an archaeologist, a hobbyist of archaeology. And should he come to find out that the library exists, then he would want to see it. And then we can get those interactions between Kuzan. I'll be right back, guys. Cheer, peace. Like the stream. Yeah, I'm back. Let's see. Vern said I wasn't here last week, but did anybody bring up the time dilation theory to Randy? I'd be interested in getting his thoughts on that. Yeah, that was brought up. I don't think I talked much about it. I don't entirely know how I feel, but I did just see something on Twitter the other day or whatever where someone was mentioning that in an SBS someone asked Oda how like old Shanks was, but he only told him how old Shanks was when he met Luffy and didn't tell him what his current age was. And then that was people were using that as like, well, he spends his time on Elbaf, so he might not be aging or something. If it was the case or something, then that could be interesting. It could be a way to like kind of explain how long, why giants live for so long or something like that, but it also wouldn't explain why, if that were the case, Dory and Brogy being on Little Garden for 100 years should have aged them more, but I don't know. I mean, time's tricky, as we saw with Wano. So it's like, kind of depends. Like, is it an interstellar situation where like they're at Elbaf, but then like Vivi arrives and she's 30? It's just like, you guys have been on Elbaf for 10 years. I don't think that that's really going to be the case. Yeah, Blackbeard's the Pirate King, guys. But, to that degree, that actually could be pretty interesting if, like, 2 years or something went by while they were, just on Elbaf for a couple of weeks. And then we have to get downloaded on everything that happened while they were there and, like, stuck in the hyperbolic time chamber, essentially. It's a good way to move the plot, Or even if it's not 2 years, but it is, like, enough time for someone like Blackbeard to go and kidnap Shirahoshi, get Pluton, like, have the Cross Guild assemble all of the, the rest of the warlords. I don't know. Brandon said, so wait, 3D2Y happens inside an arc. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I'm getting at, is like an inversion of the time skip happening, like, basically while they're in Elbaf, but they don't actually know that it's happening. Maybe. Like, there's a way to make it interesting for plot, but it's not my favorite thing, and I'm not gonna sit here and preach on it. But I mean, like, if Oda wanted to really amp things up and set up the final war and all that kind of stuff and just skip past a bunch of things and basically chapter 1089 the story, he could. But we also know how I feel about that. Basically, everything would be the Rocky Port incident in the questions that just came out. Crushnaut said, how come Saul was just Saul in his name card and not Jaguar D Saul? Don't know, but it's a good point. Lucy B said, so Saul is the man marked by flames. I don't know about that. I mean, that's what I wanted him to be, but I feel like there's been enough in the story to throw us off that scent by implying that the man marked by flames rides in a ship along the sea. So... Matt B said there might be a second time skip. I've been feeling like that since Wano ended. I mean, I've wanted a second time skip. I've been saying that for years. Like, I feel like we need a training time skip. 2 months. Like, it doesn't need to be 2 years. It can be 2 months. So, to that degree, like, maybe the time dilation thing is actually, you know, the best case scenario for something like that, because it'll basically just be giving the story its own hyperbolic time chamber. I want the other members of the crew that don't know hockey to learn hockey, so that they can, like, actually go up against Blackbeard and his crew. Noah said the sound keeps cutting out. Do other people feel like that? Miles said his sound is good. Okay. Lucy said Usopp unlocked observation but never improved on that, so a training period would be good. I mean, I really think it's necessary. I've always felt that it's necessary, so... I don't know. Because, I mean, like, if we did, then we could get another situation like Fishman Island, where during that fight against all of Hode's men, you know, like, everybody was whipping out all these new techniques and stuff, and it was really exciting at the time. Because we didn't know what anybody could do after 2 years. So if we get another training period, then, you know, Oda can just flex and do everything that he's ever wanted to do with the Striads, because they've had a mysterious amount of time off screen to prep new things to do. Sato isn't that bad, said it's why I'm hoping it's Scopper and not Shiki so he can train them. From that perspective, that would be interesting, but I think the silhouette is Louis Arnault. In which case, maybe Louis Arnault can be their trainer also. The original explorer. Like, I don't know. Crush says, do you got any wrestler theories connecting to Saul? No. Not off the top. But I also don't really have any for Oimo or Kashi either. I'm gonna go through the chapter again here. Let's see. Alright. Ship blows up. Spandine feeding the propaganda. A bunch of people leaning into the propaganda. Robin giving her fish bones to a dog. Sad, sad, sad. Robin drawing Ohara into maps. Everybody lands at the western village. Got this little flying ship. Now, I wonder if, this mist ship thing is also something that could be something that we can upgrade the Sunny with. And everything that we see here is, like, in theory, something that we could expect the Red Force to be able to do. Like, whether the Red Force is using painters to move around or, this mist and is flying in the sky. Like, we don't know, but it's possible. They magically appeared at Marineford, so it's one of these things. Or teleportation. We got the new giant pirates introducing themselves and renouncing Roto. The promise of a toast that is postponed. They're gonna get back and they'll be like, oh yeah, well actually we can't eat now because it's the winter solstice. So 5 minutes ago it wasn't, and we were trying to like get the last bit of food in before we start fasting, so we actually can't feed you now. Let's see. But Hyrodin's preparing the special moose, so maybe they will have it. But most things would suggest that we have a situation here where this is going to get interrupted. Then they fly over and get to the library. And it's also interesting from a Norse perspective, now that I'm rereading this, that Saul is laying in the spring here. Because there's a lot of connections to the spring and the underworld and all of that. So here's a character coming back from the dead, laying in essentially Vergelmere, which is probably on purpose. I'd really like if, when the anime gets to this moment, that the OST drowns out for a bit and just focuses on her like feet crunching in the sand, to just kind of like give this moment the emphasis that it needs. Or, instead of OST, like, it's just the ambience, like the waves crashing, the crunch of the sand, and then Saul, like, yells, and then the OST kind of, like, pops in as he starts laughing. I don't know, that's how I'd design the sound. The best part of the chapter is Robin saying that she wants to hear nice things about how she survived. I talked about it before, but I mean, that's because no one up until this point has existed that could give her that. I really don't think Elbaf has had, like, a bad chapter yet. I don't even think Elbaf has had a mid chapter yet. Everything has been, like, just right. Or elevated. At the very least, it's been just right. Brandon said, theory, I've heard people say that the fact that we got this slow-paced thing now means chaos will ensue soon. Perhaps Big Mom ruins their feast as a parallel to what she did in the past. Yeah, maybe. I mean, the feast is going to get interrupted. The toast is going to get interrupted. I mean, like, you don't... Like, that's 101 right there. Like, if you're giving the promise of fun, that fun is going to get interrupted. Now, could it be Big Mom? Could be Loki. What was Luffy sweating about? Is Loki free? Did he free Loki? No. Christian Barraza, super chatted, appreciate you. Said, Oda's been referencing Strong World in Elbaf. He might math piece the Cross Guild soon. The famous future warlord panel from Chapter 0 was for Strong World. Yes, I do know that the famous Warlord panel from Chapter 0 was for Strong World, and I do love that. And I do want the Cross Guild in Elbaf. But I don't know how soon or what, which math piece would actually bring us there. And uh, 1,000 chapters from the next chapter would be the introduction of Kureha and Chopper. And is it the first mention of Blackbeard also? Yeah. I don't know, I mean, maybe we get some sort of hint about Blackbeard in the next chapter. That would be a math piece thing. Because in chapter 134 is when Dalton is talking about what Blackbeard did to Drum. So if we, like, cut away and, I think that this is a good opportunity to cut away, actually. So it's like we've had this sort of like great interaction. We go somewhere else for half of a chapter, we come back, and like now they're in the library, and like Robin's had enough time to like talk to Saul, and like everybody's dried their tears and all that, and we've moved past that. So that's a possibility. If we went and we saw some stuff with Wapple and Vivi in the next chapter, that would be interesting too, because 134 is Vivi like putting things together about Wapple. So then it would be 1,000 chapters after that. But again, it's always less about that and more about what did Oda do on the exact anniversary of something. And the next issue would be issue 4-5, I think. So that's the last issue of the year. And we're really dealing with Ohara stuff here. And One Piece chapter 395 or something. Let's see. 395 was issue 6-7, so let me gotta check out what 394 was. That's issue 4-5, and that's the Demons of Ohara, which might have actually been the very first chapter of the flashback. So if we get lore piece, I guess, we go into the library and Saul starts telling us things that he's learned. That would be kind of math piece, I think. Yeah. So 394, we've got the Tree of Knowledge here. Clover, CP9, CP5. Which CP was it? I forget. Shows up, starts rounding everybody up. Olvia has her talk with Spandine. And the chapter ends with Clover saying that he wants to give his hypothesis. So we could end the next chapter with Saul kind of recreating the same thing, and then the following chapter would be like, you know, more of the lore. And the math piece for this chapter, by the way, like, it would be, I think the connection here would be chapter 393, or would it, let me see. No, because this is this should be issue 2, right? So, like, Oda is so crazy with the math piece, right? Because 392 is issue 2 of 2006, released December 12th, 2005, right? So that's the week that we're in right now. And 1133 is issue 2. Yep. So we have to look at what happened in 392. The chapter title is Derashi, right? So literally exactly So insane. So insane. People want to say like this isn't on purpose. It's the introduction of Clover, but it's also the introduction of Saul. And how does she meet Saul? Laid up on the shore, and he does the exact same thing. She just walks up to him, and he does the exact same. Oda drew it the same way. People are talking about this, right? Tell me people are talking about this. This is the exact same thing here. Nobody can tell me Math Piece isn't real. Guys. Okay. So, to explain this, guys, okay? Chapter 392 and chapter 1133 released in the same week, however many years apart. Do the math between 2024 and 2005. 19, right? I think that's what we said. On the anniversary of Robin meeting Saul in the first place, just meeting Saul in the first place, Robin reunites with Saul. This is not a coincidence. I do not care what people say. All right. Going back to the Reverie exactly 5 years after the Reverie started, Hakoko sovereignty. And then on the exact week, out of 52 weeks, they do Hakoko sovereignty again, 20 years later. These runbacks are insane. Oh, and then this is the other thing. This panel. This is crazy too. This is from 392. It's the same thing. He did the same thing. The run back is insane. It's also the introduction of Spandine. We see Spandine in this chapter. And it ends with them laughing and saying, Darashi. There. I haven't looked at the chat in a bit. I'm going to look at the chat. Crush Not Supered and said the tree burning in Elbaf would be good math piece. I could see that. So, I mean, the tree burns. The math piece for that is like the first chapter of January or something. So, I mean, the tree, I don't think the tree is going to burn this early. So I would say that that means that, you know, we're in Elbaf for at least a year or two, and that it would be this like next January or the following January that the tree would start burning or something. Is there any math piece for the mysterious guy being Yorkie? When was chapter 116? Because I think he's Louis Arnault. So issue 2 of the year 2000 was chapter 116, which was one of the first chapters of Little Garden. That was when Brogy was introduced. I think we talked about this. Like the Louis Arnault thing was yeah, chapter 115, which was also issue 1. So it's actually it's more the math piece is that the silhouette is Louis Arnault, because the Bragman book and the Louis Arnault quote, and then the follow-up Louis Arnault quote, 24 years apart. Exactly. On the very same week. Like, there's only a 1 in 52 chance that that can happen. And it did. So, Oda is utilizing the past of the story to write the story. And with so many years, it's hard to completely predict, you know, everything that's going to happen. But if we follow the path of the Ohara flashback for a little bit, that could clue us into certain directions that Oda's going to go for now. But let's see. I can't remember if the Brook flashback was end of the year Oda though. Chapter, is that 480 something? Let's say 482. I'm just gonna throw something random out. So 482 is not the flashback, but it is Thriller Bark, and it was issue 3. So Brook flashback is probably like January or February or something. You know what? I think it's 488. Yeah, 488. So that's issue 11. So if we were going to get anything with Brook and like Yorkie or something on an anniversary, won't be until February. Maxo said Oda needs breaks regularly, but I'm sure he'll position them to facilitate some math piece. Yeah. No, it's crazy because, I mean, like, when the story's done, you could create an entire book or a very long thread about how many of these line up. And it's not coincidence. I refuse to believe it. There's just too many of them. DK's talking about the live action advent calendar. What's the coolest thing that you've gotten out of that, DK? Max was stoked for short range, short land. Jody Liz said, since they crossed the Bifrost to Heave and now we're seeing dead loved ones, are they already dead in heaven? Serious question plot-wise. Well, I mean, I did talk about that before, how, like, you know, the springs of Virgilmere lead to the underworld, and I did say that, you know, that's, the springs could be a pathway to reuniting with dead loved ones to begin with. So, you know, if Oda wanted to do the cheesy thing where we see the spirits and all that, but this is the way to kind of get that in a more grounded way, grounded for One Piece, where Saul is the representation of, like, entering the underworld and seeing a loved one that supposedly had passed. So DK said, so far it would have to be the Baratier Christmas tree ornament. I gotta see that. Guardian Trees said Louis Arnault and Shiki or Scopper might be the same. I don't think that Shiki is Louis Arnault. I don't think that Scopper is Louis Arnault. I think that Louis Arnault predates Roger. I liked what people were talking about before, how Louis Arnault could have been someone that inspired Roger. And I still like that. Because it tracks. It tracks, you know, it's just like, we don't know anything about the generation before Roger, and there had to have been someone there. But we already were introduced to Bragmen, which is this book about exploring and explorers. And, you know, there have been other characters in the story that have been inspired by this book, like Mas Deuce, you know, even if it's through secondary material. Jacob Superden said, what am I looking forward to most in Elbaf? Some sort of reunion with Vivi is, you know, always going to be my case for any arc, but I mean, particularly this one. But I mean, my big Elbaf video went into a lot of my expectations and, you know, things that I'm looking forward to. Ragnarok in some form will be fun. I'm excited to see what factions will actually appear, because I do not think that this will be an insulated arc where we're fighting evil giants. We're going to be fighting Blackbeard or Shanks or the Cross Guild. You know, this is the 4 Emperor saga, so we need to see some emperors appear and kind of deal with that. Miles said Louis Arnault being the Shanks to Roger would be cool. That would actually be really cool, and could parallel the meeting of Rayleigh in a way. Magda referencing the agenda reverie from last night, 4 Emperors plus Law. Went on a big tangent about some Law hot takes at the agenda reverie yesterday, which was fun. It was actually one of the most fun reveries. I came in about halfway over on JD Legends channel. Jacob said, that makes sense. I think Loki mentioning Shanks shows it's going to expand into the Emperors later in the arc. Yeah. Yeah. Oda told us this is the 4 Emperor saga. We need Emperors in Elbaf in order for it to, continue that saga. Neon Rogers said 12/22/2003, Long Ring, Long Land, and met Shelley. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be doing that just yet, but it's good to know that Long Ring, Long Land was end of the year Oda too. Neon Rogers said February 6th is Robin's birthday. Yep, and the issue that coincided after the Ohara flashback with Robin's birthday was I Want to Live. So she said that she wanted to live on her birthday. Jody listed the One Piece editor's official One Piece channel has a power scale up. Mihawk is number 1 above Shanks, Beckman, Roger, and Dragon. The official channel for the editors, they power scaled and they said that Mihawk is number 1 completely over Shanks, Beckman, Roger, and Dragon. So they're saying Mihawk is stronger than Roger. Why are they putting dead characters on their power scaling? I mean, that's fair. Whatever. Mihawk's he has world's strongest in his title. Brandon King said, are we sure the 4 Emperor saga didn't finish with Wano? I thought it did. No, I don't think so. Because Shanks wasn't really a part of that, so. It's in that order. It's just for the funnies, I think. Well, it doesn't matter because top 1 in the verse is Shark Teeth Nami, no matter what. Did they go to the bar at the archipelago for this discussion? So what else have people been talking about this week? Nice, I see the ornament, DK. That's dope. I like that. Granted, I've heard people say how cool it is that Luffy is smiling and not crying. Her moment in the sun is bigger than anything he could do or say. Yeah. Yeah. There's no reason for Luffy to cry, because it's not... he's happy for her. You know? He understands what this means. He understands that she needs this. Shout out to Dak in the chat. What up, Savage Gang? What a chapter this week. Exactly. I'm glad that you're in agreement that this is good and necessary. Barry said, I loved Luffy's explanation about needing to pay respects to the people who have cared for his crew. Mm-hmm. Trying to think of other instances in the story that line up with that. I guess he was nice to Iceberg. Kokoro, I guess. Luffy will probably carry the same energy when they have to go see Laboon. Or if Yorkie comes back. Ace thanking Shanks for looking after Luffy. Yeah, that's a good one. Neon Roger said, so now that Frankie has left the Sunny with Lilith, does he come back to upgrades? Is that true? Did I miss that? Yeah, so it looks like Lilith isn't with them. Is Bonnie still with them? Or did they leave Bonnie at the village? I'm not seeing Bonnie in the last panel, so I think we're literally only with the Straw Hats here. There's no tag-alongs. No, Bonnie is with them. Because Robin's holding Bonnie in the ship on the way there. But what about Kuma? Kuma just sort of like sitting on his own somewhere? Oh, man. The last time we see Lilith is right before the meeting with the new Giant Pirates. It's very possible that Lilith is actually with them, but we just didn't see it. Kind of like how we don't see Bonnie. I think that Lilith needs to be a part of this because Lilith is technically Vegapunk. So, and here Saul really thinks that Vegapunk is dead, so Lilith has to say, nope, I'm still here. I'm just me now. I'm just Lilith now. DK said, has Matt dropped by yet? I feel like this is a chapter where Matt would drop by. Yeah, I'm surprised. I gotta hit up Matt. This is, I mean, because this one is like way more Robin focused than the other one. Dax said, not trying to reunion scale, but I'm 100% certain now tears will flow like a waterfall when Brooke meets LeBone. Honestly, I think that I'll be like way more invested in that reunion than this one, but I do love this. Yeah, Rogers and Goldberg had the sunny. Lilith should be at the village getting anxious with crates of equipment. Maybe. I mean, their goal was to get Saul and bring him back, so if Lilith is there, then they're still going to meet anyway, so she doesn't necessarily need to be there. It just means it's more so if a third party comes in and tries to interrupt things, which, you know, is bound to happen regardless, but... see. Are we starting Robin for Mommy? She's gonna adopt Bonnie, and then Nami's gonna adopt Tama. Jacob said when Brooke tells Luffy, I'm so glad to be alive at the end of Thriller Bark while he's playing Bank Sake had me in tears. An underrated top One Piece moment for me. Sato said Saul could show us a poneglyph on Elbaf. That probably talks about Nika. Yeah, I think we need lore piece before we go back to the meeting. We have to go into the library. We need a dump. We have everybody here. We have all of the Straw Hats, so excluding Vivi. So this is like a prime opportunity to really just let loose and have Robin like really explain all the things she's learned over the years, and have Saul explain everything that he's learned over the years. Robbie for Mommy. Good. There we go. We figured out how to make a rhyme. We never forget Karoo. That's all we got. You know, it sucks that Karu isn't with Vivi in a way, but I also appreciate it. Because for as much as I love Karu, I think one of the issues with Alabasta is how many times Oda plays the, like, Karu getting hurt card for... like, there's a lot of Karu fake outs. Let's see. Alright. I think it's time to start winding down. Let's see. We got a break next week and then a chapter, right? So it's been a while since we did a theory for theory or any sort of collab, so I should try to get Morge to be controversial. Two-week break, isn't it? Is it? Is it a 2-week break or a 1-week break? A break is always 2 weeks, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, next week would be a theory for theory, and then we would get the chapter, which would be 2 weeks later. Chapter on the 23rd, yeah. So right before Christmas. Oh man. That mean okay, good. Drop some alts in the chat, guys. People you want to see collab with. Sato said Creature Commandos. I watched the first 2 episodes. I'm in. Yeah. Shout out to Henry DH. We are stronger together.
Together we're stronger. Together we're stronger.
Have I read the new Hunter x Hunter? I'm behind on Hunter x Hunter. I really have to catch up. DK said, I know I say this every time there's a break, but what about a community video game night next week? I mean, it's been a while since we've done some gaming. We could also do Marvel Rivals, because that just came out and I haven't played enough of it. I literally really only played 1 match, but I got MVP as Luna Snow. Crushnaut said, Randy, what supports you more, a super or a membership? I mean, I guess it depends. Generally, a membership. And then, unless you're Thai. um, Jen said Matt Owens never did Theory for Theory yet. Oh, I mean, I definitely, you know, Matt and I have talked about it. Like, you know, we'll do something. But it's probably better for like season 2 to come out or something. I don't know. Shout out to Crush.
Another one.
Exactly. DK. That's very busy. Miles, is Skeleton Crew good? Like, did they finally make a Star Wars thing that's good outside of Andor? Let's see. Seeing a lot of different names. I'll take a lot of these into consideration. I do want to do, like, I did say this last week, but I am serious that I do want to do some more like retro gaming since I still have the GameCube set up. So I don't know. I guess look into that. I also want to you know, in the spirit of the holiday, like, give back to the members in some way. So I want to figure that out. So I said mods group call. I still want to do that. Like the community reverie. Miles, like Skeleton Crew so far, the writer, directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once are in charge. Oh, okay. I didn't know that about that. Axo said so down for more retro gaming, even non-One Piece content. I gotta do a quick check here. Like, I gotta see when was the last time Morge was on the channel? Because that theory, a theory for theory with Morge could be pretty funny. Looks like September of 2023. All right. So it's been over a year. So I feel like I can reach out to Morge. And then I'll think about I'll take a look at some of the other alts that we're dealing with here. Have I collabed with Sai? No. No, he's never, I don't think he's been on the channel. But I've been in collabs with him. Volume 1 is one that I definitely want to do, and I mean, I've talked to those guys about it, but I want it to be Volume 1 and like me and Chrissy, you know, like I think that would be the fun part, like the, you know, the cool part of it. But it's like then, you know, that's an extra organization, because then I gotta, you know, figure out like some sort of babysitter scenario as well. So that's why I haven't brought Volume 1 on, even though like I do want to. Double O Flevens with the gift subs. We are
together. We're stronger.
Christmas is coming early.
Together we're stronger.
W's in the chat for, you know, the gifts from Henry and Double O here.
Together we're stronger.
Here we go.
Together we're stronger.
How many until the next emote? You know what's crazy is I really think that we're like very far away. So let me see. So right now we've got like about 150 members. And at peak membership, which was like right around the the trailer for the live action season 1, we were at like 400 members. So in order to get a new emote, we would have to exceed that. So we would basically need like a lot. That's the... That would be the... It'd take a while. Like when I go into the thing, it says that we would need 6 more members. But then it does this thing where after we would get 6 more, it wouldn't actually give me the emote because we've already unlocked that tier. Because we had one like really crazy stream where I think it was the Tadum or whatever, where like they actually did the trailer for season 1, and everybody was just like there was just like crazy members. Like we got from like, I don't know, like 200 to 400 in that one stream, and we were just getting emotes like crazy, and we didn't lose the emotes. Wait, shout out to Maxo.
Together we're stronger.
Missed that.
Together we're stronger.
Shout out to Double O Flevens for joining himself.
Another one.
Oh wait, it didn't. Oh, nice. I got worried that it was gonna like activate the entire soundboard. Yeah, that was my fault. I had a did a completely different scene on OBS. Didn't even realize. Double Affluence, the stream never existed. Oh, and Inigo also gifted. Were you guys able to hear me though, or not? Like, I don't know. I was basically just naming all of the names of the people who became members. I was shouting them out. No, you couldn't hear me? Oh, just silence. Wow, that's crazy. Silence and a black screen. Sorry, guys. I was just reading the names of everybody who became a member, and then I guess in the I see how I did it. Yeah, because as I was moving down through reading the names, the button is like I'm using two monitors, so on the cursor as I'm like pulling down the chat. When it moves over to the other side, it's basically where my scenes are on OBS, so that's when it hit the button. Anyway, shout out to all the new members. You know what? I'll shout everybody out again because I appreciate all the members. I missed the ones from earlier, but we got Crush Knot, Lucas White, Yoshi, Ramon Montoya, Malcard 1, Milkman, Spencer, Psycho Red, Durs, Zigzag, Noah Charuk, Double O Flevens, Symphonic Flow, Off-Brand, Soga King 999, St. Marcus Lem, and Inigo. Shout out to you guys. Oh, it's funny. My thing is a little delayed over here, right? So I actually just saw when the stream died. I literally, well, obviously, I mean, you guys were watching, but now I've seen it. So it's like I hit the Khaled and then it went to the thing. Wow. All right. Charuk, like Chicago. Got it. Anyone still watching the anime? I'm scared they're going to do this every year now. Another nun. I watched like some of the first episodes. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes of the Fisherman Island rewatch. I didn't mind it. I mean, like the filter was a little weird, but I still like the emotional aspects like still hit for me in those first 2 episodes. So, but I'd rather binge it than go week to week with that. But I would hope that they do continue it through and, like, you know, do it with Punk Hazard, do it with Dressrosa as well. Did I spot the differences though? Well, I saw that somebody, you know, put some of the differences on Twitter for the first episode. It was like they cut a bunch of Robin stuff out. But I mean, I didn't. It didn't feel terrible, but I don't know. It's like people complain about One Piece, but then you have the anime actually cutting things out. I mean, I think it needs it, but let's see. I mean, everything needs to be redone. A lot of stuff needs to be redone. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. I mean, it's good that we're getting the Wit remake of all of the earlier stuff, but it's like, you know, something that I really, you know, am looking forward to at some point is like a redone Marineford, because that one, like the Chinese only game that had like a complete like redo of Marineford in its opening, but everything was at night, was so sick. And it's just like, if we got that and everything was at night, I don't know, I think that would be great. But there also needs to be like a consistency. So, I mean, I like the idea that they're starting with, you know, they're basically doing their own One Piece Kai, essentially. And they're starting with Fishman Island, which is like the Dragon Ball Z of One Piece anyway. Like, if you had to split the two, like, Return to Sabaody is that. That's Raditz showing up. Do I want hockey added in for Marineford? Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame we can't get, you know, things like fan letter all the time, but, you know, that's what makes it special. That's what makes it special. But, all right. So I think I'm gonna wrap things up here, guys. I appreciate all of you. I am really gonna try and do some member stuff this week, and which will probably be retro gaming. And then I don't know. I want to find time for more content throughout the month, but you know, also December it's just always crazy for me with the holiday, and it's you know, Mars's birthday is also at the end of the month. So I just, it's a month where I generally get caught up with a lot of stuff to begin with. But I'm definitely going to try and set up a theory for Sunday, so we'll have I'll try and get back into doing break week streams. I do want to get back into doing videos. So yeah. Stay tuned. Make sure I get my coquito made. Yeah. Chrissy's already locking in the ingredients. She is. Shout out to DJBS, member for 41 months. Said sup. Sup. About to end, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you, DJ. All right, guys. Everybody have a great week, and I'll be in touch. Look, join the Discord. Watch out for community posts. Make sure you have the bell turned on and put comments on things so that you get the notifications if you want them. Because otherwise, especially since there hasn't been as much content lately, for all of the personal reasons. YouTube isn't going to know that you want this content, so you gotta comment. You have to hit the like button. It's not me sitting here saying, "Hey, engage with my stuff." I'm saying if you want the content, if you want the notifications, that's the way YouTube operates. And especially since I have been lacking with content recently, it's even worse. So it's the way it is. But take care, everybody, and we'll have more content soon. Don't worry. Great chapter. Yeah, but engage anyway.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.